Hi, my name is Vita, and I'm calling. I have a question.
Hmm.
We're listening to you for a couple of days, and about tiny healthy coats and reparations.
Hmm.
I went back into my YouTube channel, and in October, Yvette Carnell on her channel with Dr. Boyce Watkins,
Hmm.
they did a YouTube a video about President Obama did reparation for the Holocaust victims
Hmm.
for $12 million. So I think it was valid for him to bring it up. I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter, and I think as a progressive, I think we should really start really bringing to the public sphere more about Hillary Clinton and her
Hmm.
dishonesty about her policies instead of betting Bernie, trying to convince people about Bernie Sanders
Uh-huh.
policies, because there's more people out there. And also, my other question is about the capitalism that you talk about in terms of racism and structural racism around uplifting our Black people, because there's structural racism, and then with the trade policies, then also that we have the immigration policies that are also affecting people down that have maybe BAs or high school diplomas or are skilled workers, that we are being affected as Black people that do have skills, that do want jobs, are trying to get jobs, that are not being are being boxed out, even that we are presenting ourselves in a professional manner, and we're not getting hired, we're getting boxed out. There's been plenty of studies, and then we're made to look like we're being lazy. And then
Hmm.
when we have people, some of our elite Black people that have the voice, you have a voice and you have listeners. And when you don't present us in the media, because I'm on the ground, I don't have the vehicles that you have to
Hmm.
present
Hmm.
us in that manner. And and by you, sometimes the things that you say, you overlook us. Some of us is down here on the bottom, and you sound sometimes, I know you might not mean it, but it sound like a little
Hmm.
elitism, to me, that's like elite.
Hmm.
That some of us are really struggling down here, and there is a lot of structural racism. It's not like that we talk about it, because it does happen to us, and by us
Hmm.
not talking about it, we just suppress it, and it affects us mostly in our health, because we do face it. You can't. I live in a neighborhood where some white people live a couple of doors down from me. The sheriff's department come about 30 times, and then they're pull guns off. I live in a decent neighborhood. They call me niggers. They throw a bottle at me. They come and take pot. They sell pills and stuff out the house. They come to me, ask me, can they come in my house? Do I have guns and stuff like that?
Hmm.
But I'm a white female, and I have two daughters. They sit on my window, throw bottles and stuff like that. So, I have to face that. I'm a single parent,
Hmm.
I have to deal with the poor educational school system, and I'm a fighter, and I'm educated. I read a
Absolutely.
lot of different articles, and I'm updated with political stuff, and I'm an intelligent
Let, let me
woman.
let me ask you a question again, and because I want to call. What's your name again?
My name is Vita.
Vita. You are. I would say you're not. I want to say you're absolutely correct in what you're observing. The only place I have a disagreement with you on is the
Mhm.
fact that I speak out about, and it's a minor detail, but I speak out about racism. But the main thing I want people to understand is you are facing, and I face similar racism where people have thrown bottles at me while I'm walking down the street with my wife, right? And I don't have a gun on me. And now I'm thinking maybe I do need a gun because I'm walking and this truck passes by, throws a beer bottle at us and calls us niggas out the window, right? That very
Yeah,
blatant racism, and even
that's a
structural.
small thing. That's a small thing. That
Right.
doesn't bother me, because
Well, hang on a second. Let me finish.
Mhm.
Also, to the
Mhm.
even to the reality that if you submit resumes and your name has a Black
Mhm.
ethnic sounding name, that you are less
Mhm.
likely to receive the job or even a
Mhm.
callback. So there is
Mhm.
structural racism without a
Mhm.
question that we all suffer to, but it is magnified based on your economic strata. As you describe it, like you describe yourself as being down here, right? So whatever your economic strata is in certain neighborhoods, you're going to feel the impact of racism even more so, not just because of
Mhm.
your skin, but where you are economically. And what I'm saying is for us to uproot the whole twisted system is that we can't end the conversation at race. We have to understand the relationship and the purpose. Hang on 1 second, and I'll let you talk. We have to understand the full purpose of race was always to divide and conquer labor. And that once labor was divided and conquered, they could have their way, not only racially, but they can have their way economically. Go for it.
Yeah, I understand that. See, I've been in the labor market. I'm retired now because I got sick. I got ill. And so I have 2 daughters now that I'm trying to live on a different income now. So I'm not in the labor market. I'm disabled now because I had a stroke and had cancer. So I don't have that ability to have an income. So I'm trying to bring my daughters up. I have a daughter that has lupus now that was in college, collegiate college basketball player, lost her scholarship at North Carolina. So she's back here. I live in California. She's assistant basketball coach. I got one who used to go to Catholic school. Now she's in the public school. That's horrible. And so I'm steady fighting. You know, I have to fight every day because, you know, you have to fight. You don't give up. You don't let somebody, you know, just punch you without researching and know the rules and policies and stuff like that. I'm a fighter. I do my research. You know, I look up stuff and get the policy, the rules. But I think we really need to stop paying attention to what all these little sound bites about Hillary and start looking at her record and start connecting.
I'm glad you said that. Hang on, let me play something for you.
The prison system, how she got dollars, how her and her husband got invested. Not only did they create the policy, but they also invested their money and collected money on that investment and put a lot of our Black brothers and sisters in jail. We need to get Bernie to speak up about that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Connect the policy.
I'm with you.
And we as progressives need to start talking about that and stop talking about what some
let me say one other thing, because you're right.
And start breaking her lies down, you know, breaking her little sound bites down and start attacking her in the Democratic Party. And she's got all these what's his name?
Krugman, Paul Krugman. Yeah.
She's sending everybody out.
She's pulling out her big guns. She is pulling out her big guns. She absolutely is. And I want to do 2 things because you just reminded me of something. One first, let me Morning Joe of the morning. You should have heard him on Morning Joe. It was stupid. Yeah. Okay. I want you to listen in to what I'm about to play. One, and then I want to give one more comment on your reparations thing. Listen, thank you so much for your call. I have a lot of callers lined up. Hang on. Hang on. Hello. Okay, one more thing, and then I got to let you go. Go for it.
The Princeton University guy with the new book that just came out, Gall. He had a new book out where he talks about the economical gap that we have. It's a new book out. He was on Sam Spider's show yesterday, day before yesterday. It's a really new good book, and it breaks down the economic and the capitalism thing. It's a brilliant book.
Okay, what's the name of the book again?
He was on Sam Spider podcast to come on.
Sam Cedar, okay.
He's a Princeton African American Studies professor.
Oh yeah, no. I know which book you're talking about. Yvette Carnell was talking about it. I'll get the title of it and I'll plug it. Thanks so much for your call and feel free.
I've been watching you since the beginning. I love you and I bless you and your family.
Thank you so much.
And you're good.
And listen. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. So I might talk like an elite.
I know that, but sometimes you get a little up there. Sometimes you forget. You gotta remember there's little small people. There's a lot of brothers and sisters down here that's trying to do better.
All right.
That, had hard times and some of the little brothers on the corner.
Listen, I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you in the middle of your tracks because y'all are not little. Y'all are not small people. We are all human beings. I appreciate your call, and you've said so much, and you've expressed so many sentiments that I agree with. So many things. Number one, on reparations, I have absolutely no problem talking about reparations. I have no problem demanding that Bernie Sanders speak about reparations. My number one argument against Ta-Nehisi Coates' article is that I'm tired of putting Bernie Sanders through these Negro hoops that no one else is putting Hillary Clinton through, Barton O'Malley through, or Obama. That's my only criticism of Ta-Nehisi Coates' piece. And to that end, I'm not going to ask Bernie Sanders to do one more thing, not a damn thing more, until everyone pushes Hillary Clinton, Martin O'Malley, and Barack Obama on the same exact issues. But now with reparations, let me put reparations like this. I treat reparations, if we're waiting on reparations, then we're just like religious people waiting on Jesus to come back. And I'll be just like that. Whenever it comes, if it comes, I'll be ready for it when it comes. But I'm not holding my breath on reparations. All right. Now, with that being said, I want to play this on my show from Hillary Clinton, because of their augmented dog whistle, augmented Southern strategy. They have been malicious in this week. I mean, they have been vicious with trying to convince people that Bernie Sanders is a racist, when in actuality, the story is a little different. And let me see if I can get this to play from my Facebook channel. Bernie Sanders in the 90s.
I've got a problem with a president and a Congress which allows 5 million children to go hungry, 2 million people to sleep out on the streets, cities to become breeding grounds for drugs and violence. And they say, we're getting tough on crime. If you want to get tough on crime, let's deal with the causes of crime. Let's demand that every man, woman, and child in this country have a decent opportunity and a decent standard of living. Let's not keep putting poor people into jail and disproportionately punishing blacks.
Hillary Clinton in the 90s.
Not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
And so that you're not mistaken, she said heel, H-E-E-L, as if they were dogs. We had to make them heel before we could address their issues. All right, I wanted to play that.
Gangs of kids anymore.
Hush, Hillary, hush. I wanted to play that because this idea that somehow Bernie Sanders is a racist because he didn't put enough black people in his commercial, as opposed to Hillary Clinton's rhetoric on super predators, which contributed to the war on crime and the war on drugs, which disproportionately affected minorities, especially poor minorities. Enough of that. I'm not putting Bernie Sanders through one more hoop while Hillary Clinton has not answered for this and so many other things. That's my only critique. That's the substance of my critique of Ta-Nehisi Coates. And in terms of elitism, listen, I'll be the first to admit, in terms of intellect and in terms of political savvy, call me elite. I'm guilty as charged. But this is the difference between certain types of people. You get people who get money, and all of a sudden they completely forget about the fact that they fought, that they had to work tooth and nail to get where they got. Or no, I'm sorry. They wrap it in this story of them working tooth and nail to get where they got, as if they pull themselves up by their bootstrap. The thing I know about me, the thing I know about my talents and my quote unquote elitism, is that all of it is for nothing if I don't get a lucky break. All of it is nothing if Boyce Watkins didn't give me an opportunity. All of my talents, all of my quote unquote elitism is nothing in this system. And this system is hurting me just like it's hurting anyone else. I can no more get out of my class than someone born in poverty can get out of their class, because we're fighting against the same system. Now, if you hear me say something in 10 years and say I got here by myself, then you can say Ben has lost his damn mind. Get this recording and play it back. But the reality of it is that we really can bring everyone up as much as possible if we look at the fundamental structure and confess that we have to do something differently. Because if we don't, we'll always be at war with each other, labor versus capital. And everyone at the bottom, all of us who work for a wage, because I don't care what you make. If you work for a wage, if you depend on somebody for a paycheck, you are in the same state as everyone else who's receiving a paycheck. And we are all competing with each other. We're all competing across races. We're all competing across genders, trying to get the very best job that we can. And so we are going to lose out to someone of a different race from time to time. We're going to lose out to someone from a different gender from time to time. We're going to lose out from somebody who's smarter than us. We're going to lose out to somebody who's dumber than us. And we're just going, because we have been pitted against each other just to survive. And that's exactly the way they want it. Because the more we're fighting each other, the less we'll have energy to fight the system, the structure. Call it, you're live.